back-to-back Heisman-winning QBs he's groomed and developed.
And
Don't be
he's not
surprised
going
if
to
he comes
keep
there for
Dak
Dak.
Prescott. He's going to tell them to let him loose.
And that's why he won't get hired. But anyways, sorry about that, folks. Again, there's news everywhere.
But here,
I can't help it.
I will tell you this real quickly, Dillon. The thing that needs to be said and needs to really be iterated the most and the heaviest about that 49ers game is I went back and watched it a couple of different times and even watched all 22. You can see the body language coming off a bye and not running their offensive scheme, the LaFleur. It was the Mike McCarthy. And I feel like right away you could tell, like, the offensive line, a lot of the players I don't think believed in the game plan going in. And when shit hit the fan early, I mean, you could just tell. I tweeted it out right away. Like, this game's over. They're done. They're toast. Like, they were flat. And why would you be flat coming off
the tunnel before the game on the
right? Like, I honestly believe that the game plan that was formulated was, let's take advantage of the nice weather and do all this. And the players kind of already know. Like, if we can see it as kind of amateur analysts, these guys that are on this field that are analyzing this film to death and being berated know what's working and what's not. And I don't feel like they felt like the game plan that they had going in was real strong, and when it didn't start off working well, it was just over with. And so I don't think that was a great test of what the Packers could do or are capable of doing, even versus, and I'm not taking anything away from the 49ers, because in those scenarios, that's when you should do what they did to the Packers. Actually, just absolutely eat them alive. That's what really good defenses do when you smell blood in the water.
Does.
Exactly. They did what they were supposed to do. They smelt blood in the water, and they ate and ate and ate and didn't stop until there was nothing left but bones of that offense. And you give them credit. But I do believe that if this matchup was to happen again and they had the correct game plan, we would see the game we were all expecting to see last week.
All right, guys, a lot of people depending on Aaron Jones to vault them into their fantasy playoffs this week. How do you feel about a top 12 performance from Aaron Jones and a top 24 performance from Jamal Williams? Do both of those things happen today?
I think so.
You want to go ahead, Jay, or do you want me to?
No, go ahead. I was just going to say I think so because I hope so. I should say two things. I think so and I hope so. Because if not, again, like I said, this could be a lot closer of a game. Again, it could become a trap game, and you never know what's going to happen then. So,
I think Aaron Jones is going to have about 60 yards rushing, and I think he's going to have about 50 or 60 yards receiving because I've looked at the stat sheets for running backs that can run out of the backfield and catch. They give up quite a bit of points to that, and it wouldn't surprise me one bit to see Aaron Jones go back up on his throne, maybe get a couple TDs today. That's what I predicted last night. He was the MVP, probably about 140 yards all-purpose and 2 touchdowns. Jamal Williams, I expect him to get a rushing touchdown, kind of being that late closer throughout the game and grinding the clock because, man, he's a hard-nosed runner, and if you put him in with 5 minutes to go and trying to get a tired defense to tackle a big running back like that, I think you're going to get a rushing touchdown at him too, and I don't think Rodgers is going to have to do much today. I think he's maybe going to put a couple touchdown passes up, but not like the Raiders game. I think we're going to see the emergence of Green Bay's running backs again.
Now, obviously,
Dave is hoping that because he's matched up with me today, and he does not want to have Rodgers or Adams score points on him because I actually went against the advice and went with my gut here, Dillon, and played Montgomery as my flex, and it worked out well for me. And then I also went with my gut and thought there was just something that I thought about. I didn't want to risk it given the matchup of the running back versus defense and having them give up too many stupid points on me and not being able to get the turnovers. So then I went ahead, even though it was a really good matchup for the Packers D, I played the Saints defense against the Falcons because I figured the odds were they would have a makeup game for the last matchup when they sniped the bed, and that worked out well. I got 15 points out of that, so. I'm starting to learn a little bit here, Dillon. I'm learning. I'm starting to learn.
Well, no, my rule of thumb is I wasn't going off the fact I'm facing you in fantasy. I was going off of what have we talked about all season? What does LaFleur do? He never makes the same mistake twice. he always comes in and reverses the offense, and it comes back. Watch the running backs be heavily used today.
But we can't say that anymore, though, Dave. We really can't say he doesn't make the same mistake twice, because he's made the same mistake at least twice now, maybe a third time because of the
each loss was a different mistake, man.
But they have a commonality. It's not him running his offense. Yes, you got to watch the film. They're completely different offenses.
You don't got to tell me that.
You're paying more attention to the defense though than the offense. I'm telling you, man.
All right, guys.
All right, go ahead.
Last thing, obviously, the Adams versus Jackrabbit matchup is going to be fantastic. If you were going to put your money on another Green Bay Packer receiver to score a touchdown today, who would it be?
Lazard.
Actually, I'm going with Jimmy Graham.
There you go.
Rodgers keeps targeting him.
I mean, whatever. Who do you?
He's another pass-catching tight end.
If you were going to pick a wide receiver,
Dave. Pass-catching option.
Sternberger.
If you were going to pick a wide receiver.
If I was going to pick a wide receiver, it seems like Rodgers keeps giving MVS chances to get that deep ball. And if there's a quarterback who knows how to throw in the snow today, it looks like we're supposed to get 1 to 3 inches plus in that 3-hour span. Wouldn't surprise me one bit to see Rodgers take shots downfield. And we saw it last week against 49ers. MVS was 1 step short of getting a touchdown deep in the end zone. So it wouldn't surprise me one bit to see MVS get a touchdown in this, or at least some deep throws. So that's my pick.
All right, moving into an ugly matchup, we have the Washington Redskins visiting the Carolina Panthers. Panthers currently favored by 8.5 points. We have an over-under of 38.5 points. Redskins are going to be a little short-handed in this one. Linebacker Ryan Kerrigan is out with a concussion. Wide receiver Paul Richardson, who I didn't even know still existed, is going to be out with a hamstring injury. And we'll see what happens with Chris Thompson. He's nursing a toe. On the Panthers side of the ball, no one is truly going to affect the game. Only Jordan Scarlett is expected to be out. Offensive tackle Greg Little is doubtful. Safety Eric Reed is questionable with an ankle injury.
Always been out.
Yes, so guys, in a matchup that I imagine most of America will not be watching because of pace of play and other things, unless you're a true Christian McCaffrey fan, how do you think this plays out? Do you think the Panthers cover? And who do you like to be the MVP of this game? How are we going to see Dwayne Haskins today?
Still taking selfies with the fans.
Panthers 17-13. I don't even want to talk about this game much. The Panthers should win this game, but you can't really bet on it. I don't think Ron Rivera. I think Ron Rivera is kind of slowly devolving as a coach. I think he's just not doing enough with the pieces he's got to keep kind of defenses when he's on his offensive side, and everybody's figured out his defensive scheme. They just, so this game, I think the Panthers still win it, but you could flip a coin really on this one.
No, I'm going Panthers, going 2010. I think Christian McCaffrey eats. I think he eats. I think they get back to it. CMC, I think, has a big day like he did earlier in the season consistently today.
Yes, fantasy-wise, I think you can play just about everyone for Carolina. CMC is automatic. DJ Moore has been on
Even
fire.
Jake Delhomme, he might come out.
Musa Muhammad, bring him back.
Name drop.
Greg Olsen.
Steve Smith Sr.
A fine play. And Curtis Samuel, why not? Go ahead, roll the dice. He should do fine against this very susceptible Washington defense. Now, for the Redskins, if they're going to win this game, Carolina's biggest weakness is in rush defense, which is kind of interesting. You guys talked about big names with no production between Poe, and you have no KK Short, and Luke Kuechly's not getting it done in the run game. So if the duo of Adrian Peterson and Darius Geis can have a hell of a day, that's how the Redskins win this game. It's not going to get you anything fantasy-wise, of course, because you're going to have to figure out who's getting the most carries. Neither of the backs really catch the ball very well, so that's going to be interesting. Otherwise, Terry McLaurin is someone you can flex, but I would not be playing him with any sort of confidence as long as Haskins is playing the way he is. I do believe the Panthers win this game. You guys are right, and we can move on without any sort of regrets. Moving into the next game. Woo, guys, this is the one we've been waiting for. the big matchup. I don't even know if I want to dive right into it just yet. I can't believe it's a 1 o'clock game, but unfortunately it's too late to flex. So the San Francisco 49ers are an underdog as they visit the Baltimore Ravens, who are favored by 5.5 points. Missing for the 49ers today, guys, some big ones. B. Ford not going to make this game. That's huge for pass rush, and Ford's been playing pretty well these last couple of games.
Didn't seem to stop the 49ers last week.
Yeah. Dante Pettis hasn't really made much of an impact, so him being out shouldn't affect anything. Joe Staley and Matt Breida are both questionable. Dave, I believe you even brought up Breida earlier.
Yep.
On the Ravens side of the ball.
Yeah, Mostert and those running backs will take care of it. Give Coleman there, they'll be fine.
Yeah. For the Ravens, perhaps the most underrated player in the entire NFL, Matthew Judon, questionable today with an ankle. Otherwise, you've got Bradley Bozeman, offensive lineman, Nick Boyle, Miles Boykin, all questionable as well. Guys, I cannot wait for this game. This is probably America's game this weekend as far as the one to watch. It's going to be exciting. Both Emmanuel Sanders and Deebo Samuel are healthy and expected to play for the Niners, which, if you've watched Emmanuel Sanders these past couple of weeks, it kind of depends on the hits he takes as to how long he'll be in the game. Deebo has come on strong, 2 100-yard performances, and then the touchdown versus Green Bay last week, which was really his only play of the entire game. And then obviously the always dangerous George Kittle. We'll see how they go. Guys, I can't say this enough. I mean, I know these are just words, but this is going to be awesome. I mean, the Ravens defense.
I know this game's going to be a possible Super Bowl preview. It really is.
Man, since they have acquired Marcus Peters, the amount of swagger this defense is playing with for Baltimore is unreal. You've got him, Jimmy Smith. You kick Humphreys into the slot. It's been awesome.
And Earl Thomas as your general in the back end. I mean, that just makes it even more dangerous.
Exactly. How do you feel about the 5.5 point spread here? I think that's a little high.
Who's favored? The Ravens?
Correct.
I thought that was extremely high, and it's based off of the fact that they've blown out some of these other teams. But let's be real. The Rams are not even in the same class as the 49ers or the rest of the division-leading teams with good records right now. Hell, I'll take the Vikings over the Rams any day of the week. So I don't think it's that impressive. I've got this game 24-23, the Ravens. I think I just think these defenses are too good for me to go over that kind of that mark of demarcation of the elite defenses, 24 points for anybody. But I still believe that going under that is kind of disrespecting what these offenses have both proven to be able to do. They're multiple, they're versatile, and they will attack you in different ways. And they both have shown you that they will make the requisite adjustments to find the holes that your defense is showing in the game. And so I think there's still going to be some scoring to keep the game interesting, but I still don't think it's going to be that high scoring. So I got a 24-23, the Ravens. Again, another one of these, flip of the coin. I wish this was this they should have broke the rules, been able to break the rules and put this one on the Sunday night or 4 o'clock game. This should not be a 1 o'clock game. This kind of shit right here is where I think that it's a travesty. This is a multi-billion-dollar corporation. The TV people would not mind putting this at 4 o'clock, or so they wouldn't lose the game or whatever. It's not that it can't be done. It's another one of these scenarios where they just don't want to do it, and the fans are the ones that are going to pay for it, really, because there's just too many, like the Packers game. I can't not watch the Packers game, even though I want to watch this game. I mean, I just can't do it.
I'll be doing TV vision on my 65-inch.
Well, I will be doing that, but at the same time, I try to take notes, so it's very hard. Now, this is a game that I will be definitely rewatching on Game Pass several times, but to watch it live, it's very sad. This has to be a 1 o'clock game. It kind of is irritating. Very irritating.
Well, yeah, especially it involves a West Coast team. Everyone on the West Coast, it's going to be around 10 o'clock when this game starts. Jay, you go to church every Sunday, so you know how frustrating it would be to miss a portion of a game like this due to going to church. So, yeah, that certainly is a real bummer.
Yeah.
Diving into the fantasy options.
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
Can I give my prediction?
Sure.
I think
if you must.
the Ravens win 30-23 on Marcus Peters.